Welcome to another episode of One Town, One Community. Today we're here with Will and Jack from the Norfolk Lions Club. How are you guys? Thank you for joining.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. To start us off today, could you tell me who the Norfolk Lions are?
So I can give the first question a shot here. So the way I would define the Lions Club is a group of dedicated individuals here in the town of Norfolk and from beyond, actually, who are dedicated to making a difference in the community and helping people and making the town a better place to live.
Right on. And what are each of your roles at the club?
So I'm the secretary. So I handle all of the administrative fun from finance movements to documentation to meeting organization, all things operational.
So I'm the new guy, so to speak, around. I've been in Lions a little over a year now, and they've roped me into being the membership chair. So yes, you did, and I'm happy to do it, and I'm having a great time. So I'm responsible not only for maintaining and managing the onboarding process for new members, but also outreaching the community and trying to recruit people who would be a good fit for the Lions Club and who kind of look like they would be good to expand our mission and really contribute.
Awesome. How would you say that the club has evolved since its foundation in 1958?
I may look like I'm that old, but I'm really not. I can tell you that it's been a multifaceted, very strong organization. Even in looking at some of the history back in the early days, they've always had a strong group of members within the community, if you will, leaders in the society that have been members of the Lions Club, that have dedicated themselves to a number of key areas. Selfless service is really one of them. On a more global scale, supporting anything. We are basically, what's the word? Knights of the Blind is what Helen Keller charged the Lions to be back in 1925, and that's one of our many focuses, but it's also something that's part of our charter. So we really, both from a community and an international standpoint, we really do try and focus our support towards curing and aiding in afflictions of the eye.
That's great. To play off that a little bit, what's the mission of the Norfolk Lions Club, and how do you accomplish your goals?
I can read you, the Lions International mission statement, which is pretty much ours as well. But, fostering a spirit of understanding among all people, humanitarian efforts. It sounds kind of cliche, but really at the local level, at the Norfolk level, it's about community service, helping within the community, giving back to the community, whether it be through service projects, time and effort, putting people where they're needed most to help, or for fundraising, so that we also have a mechanism to support financially endeavors that are needed throughout the town and the community, and then also to utilize the outreach of an international organization, Lions Club International, to bring resources that maybe we can't bear on our own, but we can bring some of those global resources to the town of Norfolk and the community of the King Philip community, when needed.
Yeah, so Tom, I kind of would like to build on Jack's answer just a little bit. So I'm, like I said, I'm new around here, new in the Lions Club, not new around the town, but new around the club. And, I liken this, I worked in politics for many years. Prior to this, I'm kind of working in the private sector now. And kind of the way I think about Lions Club in the context of the greater community is not a liaison, but a community organization that fills the gaps to help people that are missing otherwise. So the way I say that is many times, when I'm working in government, I'm getting phone calls from people they don't have health care, or they don't have a cell phone, or they don't have access to a key need that they have. And a lot of times, or they don't have a house, or they don't have something like that. And a lot of times at the government level, our hands are tied. There's only so much we can do. There's limited resources. And organizations in the town that can provide those resources are key. And I think in our town, the Lions Club is the predominant organization doing that. There are for sure a bunch of fantastic organizations, but our mission and our goal is truly to give and spread resources to those in need, and to be a kind of an outlet for people to get help when they might not otherwise be able to get it from somewhere else.
That's awesome. Would you be able to talk about some of the past events you guys have put on, and perhaps dive into some of what you got coming up in the future?
So I'll take a stab at a few. Jack knows far more than I do, but the big ones that everyone thinks of when they think of Lions, we have the Haunted Train Ride, which this year was the Haunted Car Crawl, which was excellent, successful, enjoyed by all.
Yeah, you did a really great job with that this year.
You'll probably hear me put in a plug for this again, but our big event every year is our Christmas tree sale. So starting this Saturday, so that's the 21st of November, I believe, if I'm correct, and we're starting at 9 a.m.
Yep.
9 a.m. on the weekends to 9 p.m. and then on weeknights 3 to 9 p.m. Center of town buying Christmas trees. That's a huge event that we do every year, and that honestly is our biggest driver in terms of fundraising. And all these things that we've talked about, giving back to the community. If we don't have the resources to do it, we can't do it. So donating and buying a Christmas tree is a simple way to do that. I always think of the polar plunge we put on every kind of late winter, springtime, I believe, and then Community Day, which we put on every year, which is an awesome time to get out, see people in the community. It's usually nice and warm, and it's a great place to mingle and see what this community has to offer.
So we also have all kinds of smaller events too. We do a community talent show. We do a chili fest in the winter when things are really cold. Right now, we've always got something going on. There's always a service project or something happening. But just for example, right now, in addition to our big events, the Christmas trees, and we just finished up the haunted car crawl, we have also got a similar event going on later in December called Making Spirits Bright, which is also kind of a replacement for the Santa Parade that we normally hold every December. And that's going to be similar to what we did with the haunted car crawl in the same location, only it's going to be more of anybody can come, there's no charge, but if you want to go get your spirits lifted, that type of thing is going to be happening. Right now we're selling pies for the holidays so that folks can pick up an apple or a pumpkin pie, and a little bit of that revenue comes back to the Lions and back to the community. We prepare meals. Some of our members prepare meals for folks that wouldn't be able to get a hot meal. That goes on every week. So Maureen Morrison, Kevin Roach, and Cindy Ledoux and the Kennedy family are just a few of the folks that contribute to making meals for folks in Norfolk 3 times a week. They prepare and deliver meals. Some of those same folks and a lot of other Lions are also involved in making protective masks and also the extenders that go with them for healthcare entities, anywhere from Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to some of the smaller healthcare facilities in and around the Tri-Town area. They've made over 1,000 masks and extenders during the pandemic. I don't want to bore you, but there's also it's championed by our service project folks, but Kevin Roach, Bill Hawkins, and there are others that you'll see them around town, and they have a host of Lions that work with them, and they'll help anything from somebody whose car is broken down to someone needs help with their lawn, their plumbing, their computer. We do all of those things are going on all the time. Sorry for the long answer.
No, that's great. I didn't know you did all of that stuff as well.
So we actually have 105 members. So, and different folks are in different facets of life. So, some folks have more time and can commit more to helping out through the Lions and service projects. And there's some folks that are just so busy with their families and their careers that they give back what they can. It may only be helping to sell Christmas trees or working a community day, but we've all got all kinds of involvement.
Going off that, what would you say the role of a normal member is, and why would someone want to join, and if so, how would they go about doing so?
So, sorry,
Go ahead.
I can build off kind of what Jack was saying there. I mean, I think he hit it right on the head, and there isn't a role. It's you want to give back, you're energetic, and you care about the community. Like Jack said, you could get involved in big events. You could run community day, for example, or something big like that, or you can help out on the weekends. One weekend I went over to the community gardens by the playground over by Rockwood Road and cleaned out the garden beds. There's something for everyone. And, if you like to give back, that's your role. It's to help out and, to be a volunteer for people in need. There's really, truly something for everyone.
Our motto is simple. It's we serve. And we take that very loosely, meaning we serve in a lot of different facets. We also take it very seriously. We think that what we do is important and helps.
I guess going off that, how do you think your work affects the community of Norfolk?
You want me to take this one, Will, or you got it?
Yeah, you could start. I'll add on to what you have to say about that.
I think our work and our presence in the community of Norfolk is like it's like the domino effect. Everything we touch ends up touching, and I like to think positively, ends up touching a number of different areas. So, we may, help somebody with a leaky spigot outside, and in turn, that person is able to finish their shift or work at the library or do whatever they were going to do, and they also know that there's somebody there, and that's important when it comes to the service project aspect of it. It's really, I think it's good for folks in town, whether it's, whether you're actively involved or you don't get out very much. It's nice to know that you can reach out to someone in the Lions or send an email or have your son post something on the Facebook or the Lions website and know that there's somebody there to help shovel the walkway, to help get the groceries, to get you to the Chili Fest because you really wanted to go and you don't have a way to get there, whatever that might be. And then also that same domino effect, as we're generating resources within the community, it's good to know that whether you're a Boy Scout working on your Eagle Scout project, and you need resources, or it's an outreach for substance dependency or anything else, or healthcare, or you need a pair of glasses and you can't afford it. That's the kind of thing that we gladly support every day.
Yeah, so for me, I think we live in kind of a very different time than we used to. I think with the growth of things like social media and the media running the way it does now, I think people have a general sense that everyone hates each other. You walk around and you think everyone's against you, and you kind of sometimes wake up in the morning and feel like, my God, I'm on my own. But what Lions has shown me, and what I think our work does in the community, is shows that the community still matters, kindness still matters, and there are people out there that care. And that's what I've noticed. And when we do all these things that Jack's been talking about, puts a smile on people's face, and they realize that there's more to life than maybe what people say online, and there's more to life than what, it may seem. And I think that is the most important work we can do as humans and as citizens of this town.
That's awesome. Powerful. What would you say would be the most rewarding aspect of and your favorite part of being a part of this?
Well, for me, I just hit on it. I mean, you know, being able to make a difference, that's kind of the way I run my life. I went to business school, which people always think, oh my God, like, he's a number cruncher. But I went to business school to learn how to think at the margin. And I learned how to think at the margin so I could apply that to the real world to make real meaningful change in people's lives. And that's exactly what this club is doing, exactly what it does in the community. And just seeing a smile on people's face, and even if it's not people in need, but just kids at community day running around having fun, or a family coming to buy a Christmas tree at the Christmas tree sale, to be able to take part in that is truly awesome. And it really kind of hits home that we still live in a community that is like that, and in this day and age.
Yeah, I have to second that. It's the outreach connection. Anytime I work on whatever event it is, I'll take the haunted train ride or the haunted car crawl or selling Christmas trees. I get way more out of those shifts than the people participating. Watching, especially kids enjoying going running like crazy through a Christmas tree lot, getting to pick out their favorite Christmas tree. It does, those type of events and those shifts working in those areas does way more for me than it does for the people that we're supposedly helping.
Cool. Would you talk to me a little bit about what makes Norfolk such a special town that you are so, it seems like you guys are so passionate about supporting?
Yeah, so um, I'm 25. I grew up here, went to KP High School, KP Middle School, Freeman Centennial back in the day, and HOD, went up through all that. Um, I graduated 4 years ago, and I kind of think when you graduate, you feel like you have the whole world at your fingertips. You could go anywhere in the world. And I worked in DC my very last semester of college, and I was offered jobs down there. But in the end, despite the weather, I still wanted to come back here, and I still wanted to specifically live here, and I still do. And it's because the people in the town. And it is so, I've said it a few times, but in this day and age, to have a community where you know your neighbors and they care about you, and you could go down to the store in the center of town and know that person, or you could go to the gas station and know those people, go to the baseball field, know those people. It's such a benefit. It's such a value add in life. And I think this club in particular contributes to that. I mean, to be able to kind of be the glue, so to speak, to the community, where, like I've said, we're kind, we spread kindness, we spread cheer. To be able to be the glue that holds us together like that, it's truly awe-inspiring. And that's why I'm doing this, and that's why I want to stay here.
Awesome.
I can't add any more to that.
How has the COVID pandemic affected any of the things that you guys do?
Well, I don't get my meal every month now at the dinner meetings we do, but Jack can probably talk a little bit better about that than I can. But what I can tell you is it's been very difficult to perform some of these bigger events, like the haunted train ride, changing that to the haunted car crawl. Those that were involved with that, I mean, what an amazing job that they did! How much effort they put to transition that entire event into what it was. Even the Christmas tree sale. I mean, these things, you have to think extra about safety, and you don't want to harm anyone while doing them. And we simply haven't been able to meet as frequently or in person, and you kind of miss some of that connection, that human connection aspect to the club.
So from a big picture standpoint, in some aspects, it's been devastating. Some of our major fundraising events, Will mentioned earlier, the Polar Plunge, which is something that generates tens of thousands of dollars for Massachusetts Lions Eye Research Foundation, just couldn't happen this year. And it's one of those domino events that not just the event that generates community esprit, but and lots and lots of money, but it expands things. other clubs glean other events similar to that and do other things off of what Scott Dittrich and his folks have done with the polar plunge. So to not be able to do an event like that is very difficult. On the same in the same aspect, however, we as a club realized pretty quickly that what we can do in our presence during this pandemic is more important than ever. So whatever it is we can do, altering the haunted train ride to a haunted car crawl, altering the Santa parade to, I have to make sure I say this event name right, to the Making Spirits Bright event, and making sure that people know that everybody's in this together. I know it's a cliche and I know it sounds that, but it's important for us to be the pillars of putting things out there, making resources available, making events available, doing what we can, and letting folks know, that, this is going to end. In the meantime, the Lions are going to do the best they can to try and, give you a normal, happy event. And whether it's a community event, we're going to give you a break from the humdrum, or if it's, a need, we're going to be there to hopefully either support or finance that need.
So obviously you're one chapter of a huge organization. I'm not sure if you'd call it an organization, but do you ever work with other nearby chapters of the club?
We do. We work with a lot of chapters in Massachusetts. We have a really special bond with the towns that also share our common school district, with Plainville and Rentham. We do tons of events, joint events with Rentham. We do a lot of joint events with Plainville. We'll do a lot of planning around their events. We'll pull resources from them when we're in a pinch. And it's not uncommon for, someone from the Franklin Lions to say, hey, we've got this going on, but we're short folks to work a shift. And we've done the same thing, so, we work with Franklin, we work with Rentham, we work with Plainville, we work with Walpole, but we also, the Lions in Massachusetts as an organization, try and foster that kind of inter-club working. So you'll see members from other clubs will come and attend our meetings, and we will send our members to other meetings. And it could be next door in Franklin, it could be next door in Rentham, or it might be out in Waltham. We've sent folks out to Leominster. So there's a lot of inter-club activity. Just just like on a national level, there's a lot of interagency workings with the Lions Club International.
Great. It sounds like an awesome thing to be a part of.
You want to join?
I'm not a Norfolk
We're looking for
person.
new members. Yeah, you don't have to be. We have people from Walpole, Plainville in the club. It's open to anyone.
Awesome. So I guess that's pretty much it on my end. I was just wondering if there's anything else that we haven't touched on that you want to plug or say, and then after that, like, what final message would you like to send to the community of Norfolk?
So I could say two things for a plug. Number one, we're looking for new members all the time. A lot of what we've talked about here about giving back, it isn't done if we don't have people to do it and don't have people willing to do it. So if it sounds like something that's interested to you, feel free to reach out to me either personally. So I'll say my email and phone number. Feel free to reach out. It's WRIGDON@bu.edu. I'm still using that old school email. And my cell's 508-498-4906. I call, text, whatever. And we also have a membership form on our website, which I don't want to say it wrong, but I believe is norfolkmalions.org. You can fill that out. That goes right to me and Jack, and we'll be in touch shortly and to take the next steps. So that's number one. And I will say it again, like I said earlier, come buy a Christmas tree. As Jack mentioned, some of our bigger fundraisers are tough to do, and this is one that we can still do. So in order to keep making that impact, we really need people to come out. So weekends up until we're sold out, it's 9 to 9, and then weeknights 3 to 9.
So, and on that note, if anyone in the community, in town or nearby has a need for service project, need for help, whatever it might be, that's what we're here for. You know, the best place to reach us is either through our Facebook page or, as Will said, www.norfolkmalions.org. Folks can go to that website and can upload a request. And it's one of the advantages of being in a bigger, broader club. You know, we can probably help locally, but we also have resources and folks that we can rely on, you know, beyond just the town of Norfolk. If you need help and it's bigger than something we can support, we usually know someone else that can help and where to go to source the need.
Great. Well, thanks so much for all that you guys do, and thanks for joining me to talk about it. Really appreciate it.
Great. Thanks for having us, Tom.
Pleasure. Thanks for having us.
All right. Take care.
Good night.
Yep.